Shadows of an old mansion on the edge of town danced behind the silver screen. Its cracked walls and worn windows had weighed years on the building. This once dazzlingly beautiful house was now on the verge of demolition. However, hidden inside this lonely house was a forgotten secret of the town. Real estate agents tried hard to sell the old mansion, but no one could hang on to it for long. This house, which quickly changed its original owners, was considered a symbol of a curse. Among the townspeople, ghosts of the past seemed to haunt its walls, and when night came, strange sounds echoed within. Sometimes it's an old piano instrument, sometimes it's children's laughter. The last owner of the manor was Emily Harrison, a young writer. Emily was one of the residents of the town and decided to unravel the secrets going on in that house. Despite the horror stories that have been circulating about the mansion for years, the young author was determined to revive the time lost in the dark corridors of the mansion. While searching for traces of the past in the depth of the manor, Emily discovered mysterious symbols of the ancient cult. The symbols carved on the walls opened the doors to an old story. However, deciphering the meaning of each symbol became a challenge for Emily. At night, sitting in his room, he thought that the old manor was communicating with his past. The shadows were telling him stories of the past, but these stories were lost in the dark corridors of time. One night, when he reached the mysterious room in the basement of the mansion, he found a key with which he could decipher the meaning of the symbols. Among old books, he found a manuscript containing the story of a forgotten civilization. Symbols showed that the town once belonged to a secret cult had performed in the past, and why the shadows around the manor were so thick. However, with every step he took, it felt like the ghosts of the past were drawing closer and closer to him. At night, strange sounds began to echo in the rooms of the mansion. The walls seemed to be talking, only this time they were telling him old stories in a language he couldn't understand. Emily felt like a stranger inside the mansion now, as if the old cult's touch on the borders of the past was cutting her off from the real world. One morning, an old mirror was found in Emily's room. The mirror was a transition point between the past and the future. He offered her to unite with the past and preserve the town's forgotten secrets as the price of becoming a member of the old cult. Emily couldn't resist the offer and disappeared into the shadows of the mansion as she disappeared through the town. When Emily stepped into the old mirror, everything around her went blurry for a moment. The boundaries of the room disappeared, and he felt like he had reached a crossing point. Among the shadows, the mirror acted like a portal to the past for him. He felt like he was walking in a dark corridor, but he couldn't see anything around him. The shadows were pulling him into a dream. Suddenly, he arrived at the once lively square of the town. But this square was very different from what he remembered. The children were not laughing. The shops were not coming to life. The town was like a ghost town. Emily stood like a spectator lost in the echoes of the past. The shadows continued to show him the old days of the town. People wandering the streets, cheerful conversations, and laughter reflected the life energy that the town once had. However, this sight seemed to be an illusion for a moment, as Emily felt like she was being removed from the real world. For a month, Emily's exploration of the town secrets created great curiosity and concern among the locals. Emily's disappearance has become a mystery that haunts the town's residents. While some claim that he was just a ghost, others began to search for him by following the traces of the past. The atmosphere around the manor grew more tense at night. Strange lights were said to emanate from the old mansion. Some town residents claim to have seen mysterious figures wandering around in the shadows in the garden surrounding the mansion. Intrepid investigators trying to follow Emily's footsteps claim to have found strange symbols and writings. The general atmosphere of the town began to change at night. Strange sounds were heard on the streets of the town, and the dance of shadows could be seen from the windows of the houses. Some said Emily was back, but only existed in the shadows. Others thought that an energy from the town's past had been released. The shadows left behind a secret that is the talk of the town. Emily was lost deep in the past, perhaps at a time when the town once lived. Everyone was eagerly waiting for the story of the young writer who got lost in the quiet corridors of the mansion, but the truth, whether Emily is now in the world we once knew, remains a mystery that's the talk of the town.